Tokyo never forgave failure. A month ago, under neon lights and pouring rain, two sisters stood on opposite sides of a rooftop, Zoe in black, Peggy in white. Their last mission had collapsed in chaos. Trust cracked. Words were exchanged that couldn't be taken back. By dawn, they walked away from each other, vanishing into different shadows of the same city. For weeks, Zoe worked alone. She trained harder, moved quieter, trusted no one. Then a message came from a Mafia intermediary, an offer too large to ignore. A powerful and dangerous client inside a high-security company needed to disappear. Anyone who stood in the way would share his fate. In a dimly lit room, Zoe sat across from the Mafia gangster. His voice was calm, controlled. "I want no mistakes," he said. Zoe didn't blink. "Send me the client's photo." The image appeared on the screen. She studied the man's face carefully, memorizing every detail. "I accept." The company towered 50 stories into Tokyo's skyline, glass and steel reflecting the city lights. Zoe approached from the front once, scanning. Too many bodyguards, too many cameras. She turned away casually, disappearing around the block. Moments later, she stood behind the building. Without hesitation, she began climbing the glass surface, her gloves gripping carefully along the edges and structural seams. Wind whipped at her suit, but she moved with calm precision. A quick strike shattered a small pane high above. She slipped inside an empty office without setting off alarms. She moved through the quiet hallway, footsteps silent. The building hummed with distant activity. She pressed the elevator button and stepped inside. The doors closed. Inside the mirrored walls, she adjusted her black mask over her face. A sword rested across her back. Two guns were secured at her waist. Her reflection stared back, cold, focused. The elevator doors opened on the executive floor. Two bodyguards stood outside, facing forward. They frowned. The elevator appeared empty. Confusion crossed their faces. One guard cautiously stepped inside, gun raised. In a flash, Zoe shifted from above the doorway where she had concealed herself. A single precise shot echoed inside the elevator. The guard collapsed. The second shouted, and chaos erupted. More guards rushed in from both ends of the hallway. Zoe moved like a shadow breaking apart and reforming. She disarmed, deflected, and struck with calculated speed. Gunfire sparked against walls. Steel flashed from her sword. Within moments, the hallway fell silent. The guards lay defeated, the air heavy with smoke and tension. Breathing steadily, Zoe stepped over the aftermath. She entered the main office where the target was supposed to be. Empty. Her eyes narrowed. Then she noticed a hidden door near a large frame on the wall. It hadn't been in the layout plans. She opened it. Darkness swallowed her. The lights flickered back on. The man from the photo stood in the center of a private chamber. But he wasn't alone. Behind him stood a woman in a white tactical suit. Two swords crossed over her back. A white mask covered her face. Her stance was calm, controlled, dangerous. Zoe hesitated for the first time that night. Instinct took over. Zoe lunged toward the man, blade cutting through the air. Before her strike could land, the woman in white moved, faster than Zoe expected. A powerful blow sent Zoe crashing backward into the glass wall. It shattered. Wind roared as Zoe teetered on the edge of the 50-story drop. Suddenly, a firm grip caught her wrist. The woman in white held her suspended above Tokyo's glowing skyline. With her free hand, the woman pulled down Zoe's mask. Her breath caught. "Zoe!" It was Peggy. But Zoe, dazed and shocked, couldn't see her sister's face clearly behind the white mask. Peggy pulled her back onto solid ground. For a brief second, their eyes met. Conflict, pain, and something unspoken passing between them. "Never cross my path again," Peggy said quietly. Before Zoe could respond, Peggy grabbed the man and vanished toward the elevator with impossible speed. Zoe stood alone in the broken room, the wind rushing through shattered glass. She had completed the mission but failed at something far deeper. And she still didn't know the woman in white was her own sister. But that's not the end. It was just the beginning. Please don't forget to follow and share.